All right, welcome to another installment of Mondays with the Mayor. Here in the Denali Borough office, I am Mayor Clay Walker and happy to share more information about the Denali Borough. And we started in our first installment with a bit of the history of the origin of the borough as we were established in 1990 as a home rule borough with limited powers and collecting a couple different tax revenues from overnight accommodations and from the severance of raw materials. And we've operated almost 30 years down the line, well, due to the way we were set up. And at the beginning, the founders also put forward a new and different fiscal conservancy measure which has served the borough so well over the years, and that is a requirement that we can't spend more than we actually have in the bank. Because when we started, we saved some of the seed money that we were given from the state to become a borough, and we forward funded our government, spending what we have from last year for the next fiscal year. And in fact, it's a requirement in our code that proposed expenditures shall not exceed total reserves. And we put it in our annual budget allocation ordinance every year, and we identify that number. What's the number that we can fund to? We don't always fund all the way up to the maximum, but it's such a unique aspect of the Denali Borough. When I go to statewide conferences or even a national conference, nobody can think of any other county in the entire country or borough in the state that does this. And even the ones with a lot of money, like say Valdez, can't do this, can't get to that point, a whole year's funding ahead. That's where we are and are going to stay due to the interesting and well-serving forward funding mechanism that does always limit borough spending. And that's another reason we need to be looking ahead while we fiscally plan. There are some tax ordinances on the November ballot which would take effect, if passed by the people, in January of 2021. And most of that summer would actually be in fiscal year 2022. So those funds, if approved by the people, would be available to address our needs in terms of capital needs and in terms of repairing the schools and in terms of taking care of our responsibilities to fund the schools. Those monies would be available in 2023. So we were set up in a way that we need to be looking forward. We need to be reading that water up ahead and seeing how much money we're going to need in those years ahead, because forward funding requires good financial planning. So that's a little bit about an important fiscal aspect of the Denali Borough. We are the only county in the whole country forward funded. And hope you've enjoyed this Monday with the Mayor, and look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks.